Welcome there, beer followers and friends. Hopefully everybody can hear me. To another episode of Shy Beer Guy's Beer Guide. This is live review number 50. I finally got to 50. It's been a long time coming. I expected to hit that mark sooner, but nice. Playing it in the background. But I will say that I'm really excited to try this beer. So I have another Mikerphone beer. I figured I'd just continue going with it. I was gifted a handful of Mikerphone beers. So I have here, we have the facts and we're voting yes. It's an India Pale Ale, an IPA, with gooseberries and French oak spirals. So it sounds really interesting. I'll hold it up there for you guys. Yes, I know for those who are going to comment, the beard is gone. Don't worry, it'll come back, but it's only temporary. I decided to cycle off. I know I don't look like myself, but I'm going to share this out as per usual, give it a start, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I'm really excited to give this a shot. Let's crack it open using my handy dandy massive bottle opener here. So, again, an IPA with gooseberries and French oak spirals. Clocks in at 7% alcohol by volume. Mikerphone Brewing is out of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, which is northwest of the city, if I'm not mistaken. So, for those this is the first time watching, real quick, let's share this out and then we will continue. So off the bat, low head retention is roughly half a pinky's worth, so about half an inch. The color is hazier than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be a hazy looking beer at all. It does have a purplish tint. It's orange pink with a purplish tint. This is a really interesting color. I'm interested to see how this is going to taste. The interesting factor in this beer, for me at least, is the use of French oak spirals. I'm interested how that is going to factor in. And gooseberries too. I'm not familiar with gooseberries. I don't think I've ever had gooseberries ever, but I'm interested to see what gooseberries in a beer tastes like. I've never had gooseberries in general, so it's going to be a little bit tough for me to try this out or form a proper opinion. Let's actually, while I'm here, I'm going to Google gooseberries. For those who know what gooseberries are, let us all know. Let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm going to educate those as well, because I've never had a gooseberry ever in my life. Okay. Okay, so they look like grapes. They look like veiny grapes, is what they look like. Very interesting pattern on these things. Gooseberries. All right, anyway, let's jump into the aroma. Smells like an old school IPA with a little bit of fruity notes to it. It smells kind of like Anti-Hero. You definitely catch some of that malt on the nose. Hop variety is floral for sure, but it's strong. It's seems like it's going to be on the bitter side of IPAs. Yeah, I definitely catch the gooseberries. Not that I would know that it's gooseberries being blindfolded, but it's definitely some sort of fruity aroma. I'm really interested to see how this is going to taste, so I'm going to jump right into it. The color, talked about the color, that orange pink with a purplish hue. could just be the, and I've got some sediment at the bottom of the glass here, could just be the lighting in here, but let's jump into the taste. Interesting. Okay, so for those out there that have had this beer, let me know what you thought of it. This is just something interesting I thought I'd review and try, and I had all these Mikerphone beers, so I thought I'd give it a go. Personally, I'll say, yeah, Kevin says, wow, anti-hero. Yeah, it does. It smells like anti-hero. It does taste like it in terms of the hop variety and that malty backbone, but these gooseberries on the mid palate give it a little bit of a slightly unripened grape feel. So it tastes like green grapes, but slightly unripened. So a little bit of tartness to it. Nothing crazy. And I do catch some oakiness. Also nothing crazy there. On the front end, I'm getting a mix of low hop profile and that tart tang that leads into that berry like fruity flavor on the mid palate. And then on the back end comes in that oakiness. It kind of tastes almost like what you would associate with like a French martini, if you've ever had a French martini. I can count on one hand the times that I've had a French martini, but I remember that very distinct taste that you got from it, or that I got from it, and it tastes similar to that. A little bit of oakiness, kind of is trailed by this really, and I can't put my tongue on it. I would say just like an herbal, somewhat of an herbal release, if that's the term for it. It just tastes very herbal on the back end, following that oakiness. Nothing crazy going on in terms of this beer. It's personally not my style, but considering what it is, it actually is pretty solid. And I would drink one of these in a smaller format. I would probably, if I saw it on draft somewhere, personally, I would try maybe like 10 ounces of it. This is a 12-ounce bottle, so it's not too much more. But overall, it's pretty solid. There's some sediment here at the bottom. I'm guessing that's from the gooseberries. The color took me by surprise. I was really surprised to see it have that sort of haze. I thought it was going to be more of a translucent looking beer, excuse me. But overall, it's interesting for sure. Would I say you should go out and grab it immediately? I'm not going to say that, but it is one of those off styles that I think the brewers wanted to try or adjunct this IPA with and see how it went. For those IPA drinkers that do like a little bit of tart or tang and some strong fruity flavors, this might be right up your alley. It drinks more like a really fruity version of a traditional IPA. And I mean really fruity version. This is the tartness that I'm getting from this is, I might be downplaying it, but it's really strong. But there is a mouthfeel on the front end that you get after the hop variety kind of bubbles over your tongue, and then you get that tartness followed by some sweetness from the berries, and then on the back end that oakiness and that herbal kind of taste or flavor comes into play. At 7%, I think it's pretty solid. The body is, I'd say, pretty heavy bodied for an IPA. It could just be the juice from the gooseberries that are giving it this gravity and definitely this color. but overall, it's a solid beer. I'm not too impressed with it myself, like I said, but it's just not my style. Again, if you are the type of person that likes a more traditional style IPA with real strong fruit variety, or if you like IPAs with a little bit of tartness to it, or if you like IPAs that hit that fruity palate for you, but also give you a little something extra on the back end, then this might be the beer for you. Personally, I like a little bit more citrusy, something a little bit more lively. Not that this isn't lively in its own way, but I would say that it's not lively in the sense that a lot of beers that look like this are, or a lot of IPAs in general. This is something you, or at least me personally, I would sip on or pick it up just to try it. I definitely would say that it is worth a try. So if you see it at Mikerphone, definitely give it a try. It's an interesting take on this style. It's an interesting version of an IPA. Let's share this out one more time. So, talked about the color, the head retention, the aroma, the clarity, the flavor profiles, talked about the body. The mouthfeel is very actually light. It's not as full as a hazy beer would be, or these other IPAs that we've all been drinking as of recently, but it's definitely got some body to it when it hits your stomach. So I feel it's sitting, but it drinks a little bit lighter in terms of mouthfeel. That the tartness is just something that I can't get over. I've never had a gooseberry before, so that could be it. That could be what's throwing me off. Maybe the expectation was a little bit different. But again, I described what this beer is like for those who might like it. So I'm going to give it, based on my own, and there's no price point for this because, like I said, they were gifted to me. But based on everything I said, what the beer I think was intended to be, I think it's a solid version of this beer, this style at least. But I'm going to give it a 3.8 out of 5. I give it that score, which I think is a fair score because, all things considered, it's not my style. I make these ratings not based on what everybody out there likes, just on what I like. And if you empathize or connect with the same palate that I have, then more power to you. But I try to bring some value to the ones that I don't like as well. So this goes on a list of beers that I don't necessarily like. However, for what it is, I think it's a 3.8 out of 5. And that is taking into account those out there that do like this style, who might give it I would say maybe a 4 or higher, slightly higher. Yeah, all things considered, 3.8 out of 5. I think that's a fair score. If you've had this beer before, let me know. Kevin says cheers to 50. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. It's not my 50th beer. I've definitely had tons more than that, but this is the 50th review that I've done on this page. So thank you to those out there that watch and comment consistently and will message me and have conversations with me. And you guys really make what I do here worth doing. And for those who don't know what my purpose is here, I do this because I love beer. I do this because I feel like I can describe beer very well, and I do this because I'm trying to educate those who are non-educated and help those who are uneducated and those who are make proper decisions on purchasing beer, because we all know craft beer these days costs an arm and a leg, but we should know what we're getting into before we do so. So hopefully I provide some value to you guys as far as that goes. Or just in terms of wanting to talk beer. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Kevin, thank you to you for the comment. Continue to watch, guys. I've got the Pit episode coming up first week of February, so I'm really excited for that. I've got another beer banter lined up for that month as well, beginning of that month. And I'm just gonna continue doing these live reviews. I love doing them. I love all of you guys who support me. That's it for me. Hashtag drink Chicago beer. Don't forget it. Peace out, guys. All right, we're live. Welcome to this episode of